Okay, I posted a video yesterday of Bones, the AI animatronic that I'm working on. By the way, this is a pitted posable skeleton from Home Depot. These run about 30 bucks. And all I did was take the head apart. It has screws in the back and I stuck a servo in there. I'll do another video where I do a full demo on how to build this guy, including all of the Python code and the wiring and the Raspberry Pi and all that. But I got quite a few comments. You guys seem to like that video where Bones was singing. That's what I was trying to say. That's the video I posted yesterday. He was doing a song. And a lot of people said, wow, that's really cool. What else can he do? So I'll make a quick one here to show you what else he can do. Definitely not going to make any money on this video, which is fine because it will be copyright by some of these songs. I only have one song that was AI generated. The rest are actual songs. One that I think is really cool, I want to show you guys, it's a Bone Thug song that says bone, 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 bone. And I just thought that was like super fitting and cool. But anyways, let's run down the line. First button, ChatGPT. This will do a live interaction. You can actually talk back and forth to the skeleton. So he is smarter than you are. I guarantee that. He's way smarter than me because he taps into ChatGPT 4.0 mini over an API. I chose the mini model because it's faster and it's cheaper. When I say cheaper, this does cost money to call the APIs, but it is almost next to nothing. I think 5 or 6 conversations cost 1 penny. So I've been testing this. I had about $1.25 in my API account on OpenAI, and I've been testing this for a couple weeks. I've probably done, I don't know how many calls. My daughters use it all the time, and I'm still not out of money. So it's really, really cheap, but just keep that in mind if you're going to use a paid model like OpenAPI. It does cost you a few pennies over time, but it's almost negligible. Okay, second button. By the way, all the rest of these are instantaneous. There's no cost. There's no API calls. They act as soon as you press the button. This one, I've programmed, I think, 20 Halloween-related jokes, kid-friendly, of course. And we can always add to these and change these. So I had AI generate a bunch of jokes, and then I transform those into WAV files with the TTS, and now I store those with the Python file. This one will do random Halloween facts, kind of cool. A lot of stuff that I didn't know. I told it specifically to get 25 random facts that people would not know or likely not know about Halloween, so pretty cool. This is the songs. This one is probably my second favorite over or next to GPT because that one's just interactive. The songs, I do a split audio track where I get one WAV file for just the instrumentals or the music, and then I get the second WAV file where I pull out just the lyrics, play those simultaneously, but only feed the lyrics WAV file to the animatronic skeleton servo. So his mouth won't move with the instrumentals, it only moves when the words come out. So it does have a pretty good effect of him singing for the most part. The last one, this one's funny, the celebrity impersonations. I will change this before Halloween. Most of this is funny stuff that adults would get. I've got like Andrew Tate, Jordan Peterson, Donald Trump, Joe Biden, a bunch of like funny stuff. I do have SpongeBob on here as well and Chucky. But it was mostly for testing. I was doing this yesterday with Parrot AI and then pulling down the WAV files. And then he'll do an introduction like, hey, this is my best impression of Donald Trump or whatever he's going to do, right? And these 4, they all have their own Python arrays. If you're not familiar with Python, that's like a list. So just think of it as like a group of songs or a group of jokes or whatever. And then he calls a random function in Python. So it's not playing them in order necessarily. It's just picking a random one from that list. So we'll do a little testing here or a little demonstration and show you guys just how this works. I did notice at least one thing that I need to correct, and I think that's going to be the speakers. So right now I'm using some cheap Amazon Basic speakers. These are powered by the Raspberry Pi's USB. So I have them plugged into the auxiliary, the auxiliary, like the headphone jack, and I also have them plugged in through USB for power. When it gets really loud, I think like David Goggins has an impersonation. He talks really loud, or at least his WAV file does, and I notice that it starts to draw too much power. At least that's what it looks like, and the speaker lights will dim, and then sometimes the servo doesn't move the way that it should. But all the other WAV files work pretty good, but I think what I'm getting at here, guys, is we need to probably power the speakers through a different means. So I do have like a portable Bluetooth speaker. It's really loud too, so I'll probably test that out It's battery powered. It has a rechargeable battery. So I'll test that out. But I think we need to get away from powering the speakers with the USB on the Pi. All right. So that is some information about where we're at today. I've showed you guys the back of this, but again, I will do a complete video when this is all done on how to construct this. I do still have at least one more thing that I'm looking to implement, and I'll be adding this very soon. This is an IR motion sensor. So this not only tracks motion, but it detects the human heat, so like body heat. So if a piece of trash blows by in the wind, theoretically this should not trigger. But if a human or something with body temperature walks by it, and you can set the proximity, you can dial that in to be, they have to be within 10 feet or 20 feet or whatever it is, it will trigger. So what I'm thinking about doing is having this probably on the front of the control box when it's sitting out. So like maybe this is towards my sidewalk. And then when that triggers, I would create another array. This one won't have a button because it'll be the motion sensor array. So when that's triggered, if he's not in the middle of one of his functions, he would have probably 3 or 4 sayings like, hey, step right up, press a button, see what happens, or whatever, right? Like we'll make it a little better than what I just said there, but maybe he tells you what he's all about, what the buttons do, or maybe he just talks crap, something fun anyway. That way people know, hey, this is interactive, come check it out. Got some other plans too, probably sit them at something that looks sort of like a lemonade stand. My wife does photography, she has some props. So I will probably have like signs hanging from that and then decorate it kind of spooky with, skulls or whatever. More to come on that. All right, without further ado, let's run through this. I'll do a few of each. And then again, this is gonna get copyright, but that's okay. I just wanna show this to you guys. I'm not looking to make money on this video. All right, so a few celebrity impersonations.
Here's my best impersonation of Kanye West.
What up? It's your boy, Wheezy. Now that I've escaped the curse of those Kardashians, I only practice Halloween-related stuff once a year. Do you have any candy with honey in it? I'm going to build mechanical bees, so honey is where it is at. Happy Halloween from Wheezy. 1.
All right, let's do another one.
Here's my best impersonation of Obama.
I've been thinking about what costume I should wear this year. I consider dressing up as a ghost to haunt the halls of Congress, but some might say I've been doing that ever since I left office. I'll stick with the puppet master again this year. Happy Halloween.
All right, that was Obama, Ivan's favorite. All right, we're gonna do a song, and I'll stop this. Another note, right? So red, white, blue, green. You can't disrupt these functions while they're playing. So like if we do a celebrity impersonation or a joke or a fact or AI, you can't press another button and stop that. But the songs, I did code that in because these are long. They can be up to 5 minutes long. So, I mean, if a song's playing, someone wants to interact with it, they're just gonna leave. They're not gonna wait 5 minutes. So we can play a song and then we can hit any other button and it'll start that function and stop the song function. All right, so let's play a song. I'm gonna tap it a few times until I find the one that I'm talking about. So that's the AI song. I thought this was like the perfect song. It starts out boom, 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 boom. All right, I'm gonna do a random Halloween fact.
The world's heaviest pumpkin on record weighed over 2,600 pounds.
It's a big pumpkin. Let's do another one.
Halloween originates from the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, marking the end of the harvest and beginning of winter, when it was believed the veil between worlds was thinnest.
All right, cool. So again, there's 5 songs. I didn't want to play the whole song. The video would be super long, but you get the point. I'll probably change those songs too. I mean, I did pick the clean version, so there's no curse words, but Bone Thugs, probably not the best for kids. So I'll probably go with some, Disney or something friendly for the kids that's Halloween related. Maybe I'll leave a couple fun ones in there because adults are usually tagging along with kids on trick-or-treating. So, all right, on to the jokes. Do a couple jokes.
How do monsters like their eggs? Terry fried.
Let's do another one.
Why did the witch go to school? To learn how to spell.
I like that one.
What do witches put on to go trick-or-treating? Mascara!
All right, so I'm going to do the AI now. So this is ChatGPT over the APIs. So this has 3 separate API calls. We do a speech to text, because we're going to talk to it. So when I hit this button, it's going to record us for 5 seconds, and then it's going to send that to, it's going to create a WAV file and send that to the Whisper API, which is OpenAI. It's going to transcribe that to text, send it back to the Python program, which is like the orchestrator. That will send it back to ChatGPT 4o Mini, which then has custom set of instructions to respond to that. So it knows what I said because of the transcription from Whisper. And then it will take that and create a response. GPT 4o Mini will send that back to the Python application. And then we have the response in text. And then we send that off to the OpenAI text-to-speech API. And then that sends it back as a WAV file, right? Because it's text to speech. And there's like 6 or 7 voices you can choose from. I chose one called Onyx. OpenAI is just amazing with both speech to text and text to speech. So I'm using Onyx for the voice. Maybe look at doing some voice modifications later, but that would take, an additional second or two, which I'm looking to actually decrease instead of increase. But anyways, just wanted to explain the delay there. So it's 3 API calls. And again, all 3 of those, even if you do like 5 or 6 conversations, it's only 1 penny. So it's really cheap. And you could use a free model, but just know that the delays and the responses are not going to be as ideal. All right, so I will hit this button and I'm going to ask him a technical question or something kind of where he'd have to use his brain. By default, when kids ask this a question, it's going to give a snarky, funny response. It's not meant to be like a genius, but obviously it can answer pretty much anything because of OpenAI. So if it gives a funny response, that's because of the custom set of instructions I've given it behind the scenes. All right. Hey, Bones, give me the speed of light in miles per hour and miles per second. So behind the scenes, those API calls are happening. It's going to transform everything.
Well, sweet little trick-or-treater, the speed of light is about 670,616 miles per hour, or a cool 186,282 miles per second. Fast enough to outrun all my bad jokes.
So yeah, that's not too bad. A few seconds delay there. And again, if you guys have been following me, I have a few ideas of what I want to do for that delay. I definitely don't want to have people talk to it and then have to wait, even though it's 3 to 5 seconds. It's just not ideal. So he'll either say something and or say something and do a movement, like maybe he's taking a drink of coffee and we call it his think drink. Or I did see a pretty cool hologram thing on Amazon. It was like $15 and it was like a brain. It's supposed to be like a nightlight. It's like a brain hologram that floats. So if I can embed that inside of his skull and have the brain pop up like right there when the AI call is doing the APIs in the background, and then maybe like some sound or something like loading. I don't know. Something cool though, like an effect or a movement while that API process is happening. That way kids they're not bored, because especially nowadays, we all require that instant, what's the next thing? Like people on TikTok. I'm not a TikTok guy, but you get what I'm saying. You need something every second, right? So you have to wait 3 seconds. They're going to be like, lame. So anyways, more to come on that. More to come on the motion sensor. And yeah, this is the update that I wanted to give you guys after doing the video yesterday, where I gave you the song. So he did a funny song. Somebody's watching me. You know that song, right? I always feel like. That's why he sings it, not me, by the way. Yeah, so he's got 5 functions. Let me know what you guys think. These are all customizable. We can change them. If you guys have good ideas, I am always open to making modifications and changing these. Maybe I totally overlooked something that would be way cooler than a cheesy joke or a random fact or whatever, or the impressions. This one's probably my least favorite. I like the songs and the AI the best. So yeah, if you guys have ideas for these buttons, definitely let me know. I was thinking about maybe putting like a crow or a raven or something near his shoulder, and then put a servo in that, and then maybe allow people to hit a button and it pecks him. And then as it's hitting his brain, he starts talking like, knock it off. So it's interactive, right? And that way kids get a kick out of it. They're hurting the skeleton or whatever. Just another idea. And we could always add more buttons. I don't want to get too busy with it, but yeah, the possibilities are literally unlimited. So I'll have this hopefully hooked up next weekend, and we'll do some testing with that and make sure it integrates nicely with the buttons, and we'll go from there. I did have another idea, this probably won't roll out this year, but we could stick a camera somewhere like in his head, or it doesn't even have to be on him, but I think maybe in his chest and his head, somewhere where you couldn't really see it. And then I want to create a function. I'm going to try to get it done this year, but I don't know if I will, where I have a mobile phone app, and then I can watch the camera through that mobile phone app, and I can also talk. So when I talk, it would maybe change my voice, maybe not. Haven't really decided on that, but it would definitely move his mouth and play out of the speakers. And then I can look at the person and see that they're dressed up like Shrek or whatever, right? And start talking, maybe talking smack to them or just making jokes or small talk or whatever, right? And then tell them, hey, press a button. So just another option. And if I do get this thing like fully packaged, I would want that mobile app. So when someone first gets this, they can kind of configure things through that mobile app, and they don't have to be a nerd like me and hook up everything to the computer. You could just do it right out of the box to a mobile app. So those are more ideas, more fun things that roll around in my head at night. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, and definitely let me know if you have any ideas. I do have better looking skeletons. I love this guy's pitted appearance, which is really cool. However, I do feel like the ultra posables, my daughter's beat this guy up over here, but I do feel like these guys are better, and the mouth movement's better, and the eyes are cooler. So I think I'll end up using one of these guys. They can even do like movement up and down, left and right. So like a 3-axis type of scenario. So I'll probably end up using this guy, but I'm going to do all my prototyping and building out on the, whoops, I'm going to show you his eyes if I can get to it. Probably do all the prototyping and building out on the skeleton that I'm working on. And the nice thing is I have there's his eyes. It's hard to do it with one hand, but yeah, his eyes light up red. So, go to sleep, buddy. So the nice thing about this project is that the only thing that hooks up to the animatronic right now is just this wire. So this is a servo extension. So pop, I just unplug that, and then I just bring another skeleton over here. Sorry about that. Bring another skeleton over here, set him up, and then pop, plug him in once I get the servo mounted. And as far as the mouth movement, I know you guys have been giving me some feedback, which I 100% appreciate, by the way. I love constructive criticism when I'm building things. If you're talking smack, that's a different thing. But if you are giving me good feedback, I appreciate it. His mouth sometimes does look a little bit tight. But let me tell you this, in my opinion, I'd rather have it a little tight like that and not open so wide than look like it's I'm trying to think of the word here, but where it's just going like this. It looks super fake when it opens all the way up every time. But I think I need to find that sweet spot in the middle. I won't lie. I think there's some modifications we can do. Part of that is the pitted guy doesn't move his mouth as wide. Actually, the restriction is the jaw. So where the jaw meets the cheek, I've already shaved it down a little bit with a razor, like a box cutter, but I may need to do that more. However, again, looking at the ultra posables, they have more movement. They look more realistic. And yeah, I think I'm going to go with one of those. But for now, I'm going to continue the prototyping with this guy, Mr. Bones, until we get it right where we want it. All right, let me know what you guys thought. I'm going to do another song here to send us off. More Bone Thugs. What else we got? Already heard that one. Sometimes Python's random is not random enough. There we go. I like this one. All right, guys. I'm going to let this play for maybe 30 seconds or a minute. Do a little walk around on Bones, and we'll send it off. Let me know what you guys think, though. Appreciate all the positive feedback so far. And if you got any ideas, shout them out there. I'm down to build anything that sounds cool. Watching me. All right, guys. Have a good day. Let me know what you think. Stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe, follow me, whatever platform you're watching this on, because Again, I'm going to have a full build tutorial on all this stuff, and it'll just get cooler. So make sure you stick around. Have a great day, guys. Till the next one, take care.